This is the Ridiculously Amazing Insurance Agent Podcast, hosted by me, Kelly Donahue-Piro. This show is for growing insurance agencies looking to maximize their biggest investment, their people. Listen to the top agency performance partners clients share their story on how they boosted their performance by executing a plan. Let's head to the show. Hey everyone, Kelly Donahue-Piro here for another one of our mashups. We only have 3 videos this week due to a short week of 4th of July. But we really put some big pack into these videos, which is all on how to find top talent. Every single one of my clients has the same problem. How do we find top talent? It's a struggle to find top talent. And I think that there's some things that we can do as agencies that will set us up for success. So we talk about everything from how to have a bomb job posting, how to run referral programs with your teams to get the best strategies, and also just kind of what to look for in the candidates. And I think if you use these tips, you might find a few adjustments that get you a better quality candidate. So without further ado, we're going to jump into our first video. So this is a strategy we've talked about before, but I don't think many people think to really enact. And it's a tragedy because it's a thing that will help you find the best talent the most. It's also the hardest thing to do. And that is going ahead and having a forever recruiting strategy, which means you never stop recruiting, even if you have a full roster. I always say it's not the bad thing to go a little overstaffed, and it's also not a bad thing to always be recruiting because you don't know if somebody's going to quit, if somebody goes out on medical leave, if you have a huge opportunity, you find a great person. So if talent is your biggest challenge, we can't just hire out of desperation. We need to hire out of preparation. When somebody quits, it's like, hey, you have a license and can fog a mirror. Let's get them in. We don't want to take that as an opportunity. We instead want to take far more opportunity to vet the right talent. When you have more time, you have a better interview process and you can win the best clients over. So watch out for this tip in our 3-minute video. Hey everyone, Kelly Donahue-Piro here, and we're talking about a really important topic for the next 3 days. I want to give you our 3 biggest hiring strategies because we just see it everywhere. Everyone needs people. Everyone is stressed out about not having people. And there's some things that we can do to stack the deck in our favor. Now, every market's going to be different, but in this one, I want to really talk about a strategy I learned a long time ago, which is you always need to be looking for top talent, not just when you're hiring out of desperation versus preparation. So 2 weeks is nothing. And we've seen so many people lately quit via text message, just not show up again, or not even give 2 weeks notice. You may not have 2 weeks. So for your agency to be successful, it is critical you think differently. And in order to think differently, that means you have to have a mindset of always be recruiting. For a couple of reasons. First, you don't know when someone might go out on disability or medical leave or have a family emergency. That's all things that happen, right? Next, there might be some underperformers on your team that you're looking to release but feel like you can't because you don't have someone to fill the spot and everyone's going crazy. If you're always recruiting, you can fill that bench a lot faster. And lastly, we just never know who you're going to find. If you find a great producer or somebody that comes in, just because you find them doesn't mean you have to offer them a job on the spot. It does mean that you can nurture them and keep in touch with them and slow roll it and make some decisions. But I'm going to tell you something. If you become a little overstaffed, that's okay. We can find ways to speed up the quoting process, do renewal calls. That work will not go to waste. I can tell you that much. But when you're hiring out of desperation because someone quits, you're scrambling and you're not always able to find the best people or conduct an interview process that really make sure you're hiring the best. So our tip today is really hiring and recruiting all the time, no matter what. Need somebody, don't need somebody. You need to be spending a portion of your day posting those job ads and talking to people. This is a great way to build that pipeline and find the people that are going to really help push your agency forward versus hiring somebody who says, you have a license, you can fog a mirror, you get your butt over here and start working. That can cause some issues for sure. So that's our 3-minute video tip. Watch for the next 2 tips on hiring and recruiting for your agency. We'll see you then. So our next strategy is all on your current team. So if you have a current team, they all know people, they know other insurance agents, they've worked in other agencies. It's not a bad idea to, throw them a bonus for helping you recruit. If they can go reach out to friends, family, staff, whoever it might be at other agencies, you can get some good quality talent. They know what it's like to work there, they know the culture, and they know who might be a good fit. And if there's something in it for them, you might watch to see more people come over. Another hidden bonus is if they already have a friend at work, the training goes a lot easier. So check out our tips on how to get your team to be recruiting ambassadors. So our next strategy for recruiting is something I think that we often overmiss, And I want to talk about this from two different angles, the pros and the cons. The pros of this are going out to your team and offering them a bonus for any referrals of team members that they offer. So if you're in the hiring mode, your staff knows what it's like to work there, knows who fits in your corporate culture, may know people from other agencies. Putting a little incentive in place is not a bad idea. Many agencies do it if the person gets hired, but I also think it's just goodwill, like, hey, if we have someone that's licensed that start the conversation. You never know where it's going to end. So looking from your own team's network, I think is so huge. And another big pro of that is actually training. When they already have a friend at work, they're more likely to get trained, be accepted, all that good stuff. The only downside sometimes can be is if it doesn't work out, it can be a little hard. The real downside, though, is something I want to talk about a little bit more in detail, which is if you hire a family member of an employee. Many things can go super right on this, but also super wrong. You need to know you're taking a gamble. In some instances, when things go super wrong, the two family members might try to depart together. There may be differences of opinion. They can form a little bond that, can kind of be maybe, disarming to other team members. It has to be the right situation. And they have to realize that, there's an employer and a manager and that they need to keep personal things out of the business. Now, depending on the family relationship, sometimes, this can take out a significant percentage of the team if there's a family vacation or a death in the family. So you just have to know what you're walking into. I'm not saying it's a reason not to do it. I'm saying you have to go into it eyes wide open. We always think that, putting them in different departments can sometimes be a good solution if that's the case. But, we've seen it work well, and we've seen it be a struggle in some agencies. So if you're hiring family members, just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. These are our tips. Put an incentive in place to your team, and you might be surprised who you can get. Let them be little recruiters for you and your agency. Hey everyone, does your agency need help hiring? Maybe you've never really had to do it before. You're not sure what interview questions to ask, how to vet the right candidates, or even where to go. Our hiring guide actually has all of that included. You get job posting templates, interview questions, even a tracker for candidates so you can help score them and see who's on top. We even talk about how to onboard them and job descriptions. So it's literally a whole package of insurance recruiting all in one, just for you and your agency. So why recreate the wheel? Go to our agency process packs to help you get a leg up on the competition, save yourself a few weekends working, and instead commit to doing it the right way through our hiring guide. We also have a variety of other process packs, so make sure to check them out. You can go to our online store, agencyperformancepartners.com/shop, and click on process packs to see what we have. We'll see you in the remainder of the video. So the last strategy we have is how to write a compelling job ad. And you really want to do a compelling job ad that is kind of like an online dating profile, which I know sounds crazy, but it shouldn't be too long and it shouldn't be too detailed. And there shouldn't be many hoops people have to jump through. In today's world, we're really doing it more on the mobile phones. They see something interesting, they can hit apply on Indeed or ZipRecruiter. So you can't go ahead and put these long things like send this video of you, do all these things. Imagine applying to a dating ad like that. You're like, ooh, creepo. Instead, as you progress through your interview process, you start upping the game and asking for more and more. And when you do that, you'll find the better candidates. Watch our tips in this 3-minute video. So one thing I want to talk to everybody about is how you create a great job ad. And I see a lot of times that sometimes we're trying to put too much in the job ad, make it too much like a job description. You have to think about it more like an online dating profile. You want to give just enough to hook the right candidate to go ahead and make it a big deal. Now, in the past, some agencies have done things like put little clues or send us a video. I want to say, I understand completely the methodology on that. But imagine you're doing online dating and you're saying, well, in order to go out on a first date with me, you need to do these things. I feel like we're just in a different place. Instead, you need to make a compelling job ad so they get their resumes in, you can filter through, have your phone interviews, and then as the relationship develops, put people through some different, strategies to test them. But up front, it's a big block, I think. And you got to think a lot of people are applying for jobs on their phone, on their couch. It's uploaded Indeed, they're hitting submit. And those little things are just about like, hey, the wink, the nod, the poke, as it would be from some past dating sites. So think about it from the perspective of you need to make something compelling. It's an advertisement more than it is an analysis at this point in time. So we should also be putting in there our salary, bonuses, things like that. That may attract some people that were not interested in the past. And I know it can be a double-edged sword, but if your package is competitive and you offer benefits, maybe somebody doesn't have it, this becomes more attractive. You're kind of putting the bait in the water and you want the best bait. And you want to make your job seem fun and, talk a little bit about some of the things you do, whether it's incentive plans or trips, or, you've got training, or there's a front desk person. You'd be surprised how many people I work with when there's no front desk or receptionist, that people just want a receptionist and it might be an opportunity. So for you to create a job ad, you need to do something compelling that attracts people and says, yes, I want to apply here. This is kind of exciting. I'm interested. Not, okay, another boring job insurance ad. Really find out why you're different, why people should work with you, and put that in the job ad. Remember, it's just a first interaction. It's not the same thing as when you've gone to the second or third interview. It's far more entailed than that. And that's our tip on job postings for the day. All right, we've had our 3 biggest tips for hiring. We hope that you take them seriously. There is no magic wand. You got to do the hard work, unfortunately, but we can do hard things. So if you have any questions on recruiting, we do have a hiring guide that we think helps, agencies have that structure that they need. Also, if you're looking for our services, we do help kind of organize your agency as well to say, what do you really need? Are you overstaffed, understaffed, compensation, the whole 9? So reach out to us if you're interested. Until next week, we'll see you soon.